darling, tell me that you'll be true, 'cause there's no doubt in my mind. I know what I want to do. Hey there, everybody. I'm Travis. This is another edition of What the View, where I talk about what's going on with me in my world of comics. Some stuff going on. Got some news rolling out of DC. I'm not know that I'm really excited by any of it. DC announced at one of their trade shows about what their next event's going to be, rolling into the next year. The big deal, this 5-year future thing that they have going on. I guess they're going to all the books. Their next event thing is going to be all the books are going to jump forward 5 years and give us a maybe story of what the current people on the titles, what they are viewing, maybe where their story would be at 5 years from now, kind of a thing. And on top of that, they're going to do more of the 3D covers, whatever that L word is that they call it. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. So for that 1 month, they're going to be all these fancy covered, and they've upgraded the technology on those fancy covers. So now those fancy covers are even more flashy, I guess. Whatever. And it's all going to then tie into the weekly event of this, 5 years in the future or whatever that's going to be, which I'm still not 100% solid on. Talked with some of their guys on Twitter and stuff, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what it all means. I've kind of read some of the articles, but I haven't read them really too closely. Don't know how excited I am by all that. I'm curious. I mean, definitely I'm curious, but I keep waxing and waning on whether or not it's something I really want to check out or not. I think it's going to come down to, we'll see at the time. I don't know, though. I think my pull list is going to do some radical trimming here in the very near future, just because of things I got going on. So I don't know that that's going to be on my list, because my list is going to be a lot tighter and I'll be a lot pickier, I think. Other DC news of note for me anyway, of course, we've kind of talked about it in some of their hangouts I've been on and stuff like that, about the fact that we're aware of the fact that the current Wonder Woman creative team is going to be going away. They've got a 3-year plan. They're giving up to executing that 3-year plan, and they're going to be gone. And rumor has it, and I say rumor because this is from the Bleeding Cool website, which I don't know how often I talk about it. I'm kind of don't particularly care for them, but at the same time, it's hard to ignore some of the stuff that comes out talking about it and whatnot. I don't know. So anyway, I inevitably end up going and looking at things there occasionally. But they're saying that David Finch is going to be on the book, the artist David Finch. I'm assuming just on art. I can't imagine they're going to have him write too. He couldn't keep up with the Batman book that he was on doing both duties. So I don't imagine they're going to have him do both. But I'm not really happy with him just doing the art. I know a lot of people really like his art. It's a big coup that he was taken from DC. Not from DC, from Marvel 2 years ago, when the whole New 52 started and whatnot, and it was a big deal, and I didn't understand the appeal. I still don't necessarily. He draws awesome guys, he draws a really badass Batman, but his women all look the same. I mean, if you honestly go and look at all of his women, they literally all have the same mouths, the same nose, the same eyes, the same exact body shape. There's nothing about them that's any different from each other. That body shape, the wasp-waisted thing, just doesn't appeal to me either. If there was like one character that way, that'd be fine. But when everybody's that way, it's really frustrating. The only way you can tell the characters apart is by hair color and costumes. And heck, if you get close-ups of their faces, you can literally just take the hair off of one and put it on another and interchange them, and you wouldn't know which hero there were. So obviously, I'm a critic of that. I don't know that that may be enough for me not to get Wonder Woman. I just don't know. But yeah, so that's, for me anyway, a double bummer, because I really like Wonder Woman. I like the team that's on it now. I know they're not going to be on it for forever, but it would have been nice to have had them on it for forever doing whatever. Yeah. So, it's comics. It's what happens. If you're new to comics, it's what happens. Obviously, if you're old to comics like me, you've been through it a million times. Doesn't make it any funner, though, when it's a really good book and something unpleasant happens to it. But, yeah. That being said, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other really earth-shattering news of any real importance as far as my comic book type stuff goes. This week's poll for me is a really weird poll. I actually have only one Marvel book and only one DC book proper. And all the rest of my books are independent, whether that be Vertigo, Image, Dark Horse, whatever it is. So it's going to be really strange. I mean, it just seems strange anyway that that's how they all landed. I don't think that's normally normal, but that's what it's going to be for this week. So yeah, we'll see what all we talk about, because I will be hosting Comic Roundtable this Friday again. Should be a good time. Got some extra people going to be on the show. I'll put it out there again. If you want to be on the show, let me know. We'll figure out how to work out details to get you on the show, because it's an open forum. I'm more than happy to talk comic books with basically anybody. So, because I don't really communicate with anybody who isn't cool. So, you know. So yeah, get a hold of me if you want to be on the show. You know, whether that be sending me a direct message here through YouTube, or hunt me down on Twitter. That's what a lot of people have been doing. Hunt me down on Twitter and asking to be on, and right on. That'd be cool. I mean, I don't want 10 people on in one night, I don't think, but we can certainly work it out, to make sure we've got extra people on to be on the show, because that'd be really lots of fun. Let's see what else is going on. Let's talk about some videos. There's been some pretty good videos have come out. As anybody who's been watching my videos for quite some time, I occasionally have to cut a video that has some level of social commentary to it, and that sort of thing. And there's been some people who've been putting out some good videos along kind of basically along the same lines. This is how we should treat people, and I think all those videos are great videos. Even if they're not videos pointed at anybody in particular, and most of the time I don't think they really are. I think they're kind of a blanket. Hey, I got this idea. I think this would be a good way to treat each other, and all those tend to fall under the category of treat each other with with respect and dignity, and we all get along. And I think those are all great videos that basically are making those statements. And I think we all need to be reminded occasionally. We all kind of get off going our own thing and don't think about everybody else. And I'm certainly have no visions that the comic book YouTube community or whatnot is going to be this utopia of goodwill. But certainly all getting along is the big goal, I think. And I think that's what everybody else is trying to do with the videos they're putting out. It's certainly what I try to do with mine when I do videos that are along those lines, as opposed to my normal comic book type stuff and whatnot. But Mr. CDC AMP has a decent video kind of about comic book snobbery. You should go watch it. I'll put links down below. To me, I kind of chalk it up into the category of like what you like, and let everybody else like what they like, and don't think less of somebody because they like something you don't like. I mean, because we certainly all do have our own tastes, and and not to be a creep about the fact that you think what you like is better than what somebody else likes. Makes perfect sense. Howler Mouse is kind of, I don't want to say followed up, that's the wrong word. He has put out a video today, as a matter of fact, talking about bullying and infighting and that sort of thing. And he has a lot of great points in there. Some of it is that you need to get a thicker skin. Definitely. I'm like Howler, and that I come from a longer ago a generation of reading comics when it wasn't this phase we're in right now, where that's kind of cool. I still don't think that reading comics is really cool. I mean, it's cool amongst us, right? And it's cool amongst, our friends that are part of that, but I still don't think it's, I still don't think you walk down the street with a comic book and then people stop and go, wow, you're cool because you have comics. I mean, I don't think we're at that point, but it's certainly a lot more accepted now than what it was. But he has some great, some great stuff about, the bullying and that sort of thing, and how great it is the community we have, this community to back us up and stuff, and how awesome that is. And, You know, and you comment some on the infighting, which I hope we don't really have going on. We can certainly have differences of opinions. You know, there's no doubt about that, because we all operate from, you know, our own vantage point of how we feel about things and whatnot. And you know, as far as the infighting and the powder keg type stuff, I'm not aware of that, if there's something cooking again, and I don't think it's anything for anybody to get excited about. And I don't think that's what Hallermouse was saying either, that people should get excited about that. But certainly, I agree. If you're part of the message, I hope is, you know, if you don't like somebody's something, don't watch it. You know, I mean, it's easy as that. If you really don't like it, unsubscribe. If you really don't like it, block them out of your life. I mean, that's pretty simple. You don't need. It doesn't need to be a war of some sorts if that's what's out there, which I don't. Like I said, I don't think it is, but. You know, all good points. So I'll put links to those two videos down there. Mr. CDC, I'm bringing him up again. Actually, just put out another video I think it's really cool, where he's proposed the question: is there a superhero genre? Does a superhero genre still exist? You need to check that video out. I think that's a really cool conversation. Hopefully over this weekend, I will be hopefully more effectively putting into my head my thoughts, and I hope to make a video response if I can squeeze in amongst the other stuff I've got going on. To talk about it, because I think it's an interesting subject, and cool that somebody's floating interesting comic book conversation out there that is pretty cool. What else is fun? Oh, Damien, Sleep Reader 666 has a video response to a podcast from, and the podcast is from Long Box Review, and in this little snippet of podcast, Eric, the podcaster, he talks about dreaming of flying and that experience, and do other people have that dream? Kind of proposes this question: do other people have that experience? What's their experience like? Is it a universal experience, or is it different for everybody? So Sleepy's video, he kind of answers that, his experience with dreaming of flying, which is another really interesting video. I'm kind of hoping that kind of takes off. I'd like to see more videos of more people's conversations around that. And it's kind of loosely comic book oriented in the whole, you know, Superman flying kind of a thing, I think is where that all kind of stems from. So kind of a curious kind of a thing. I don't know that I'm going to participate in that, because I, quite frankly, can't really remember a time about flying that would be a description that I would be interested in talking about. But, you know, we'll see. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think I've wasted enough of your time with my blathering about nothing too important. And anyway, Comic Book Roundtable, Friday at 6:30 Pacific Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. Hope to see you on. We'll be talking some books. I'm practicing harder and harder about reading comments, so I will really try to get to your comments while the show's going on. We'll backtrack if need be to talk about what people are talking about in the comments, and hopefully we'll have a good time. So I'll see y'all throughout the weekend. Bye.